Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, whenever you are, whenever you're watching. Thanks for joining us on the Sunday Culture Review. Myself and my panel are here to say howdy and talk about some fun stuff. But first of all, I think we all want to mention the following, which is Happy Thanksgiving. For those of you that we didn't get to say that to, we're all very thankful for you, and I speak for more than myself, I believe. But today, let's get started right away and talk immediately with the amazing panelists that have joined me today, and perhaps a couple more that will join a little bit later. Show's going to go for about 90 minutes or less. We don't have a lot of material because it was a holiday weekend. So first and foremost, we have AFK Bard. It's good to see you, AFK. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. And happy belated Thanksgiving to everybody.
That's
Culture's right. I'm grateful for everybody around, and figured it's a good time to say that. So thanks for being awesome and for coming to support culture every weekend.
That's right. I appreciate all of you. We've watched the numbers on the show go up and down, up and down. It's really weird. I don't know what's happening, but hey, hopefully you all are still with us. Thank you, AFK. Makani, our resident artist. How's it going, Mock? How are you doing, bud? I think you're muted.
Okay, there's the Boomer Keeney count. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving, Black Friday weekend. Stuff yourself a turkey, spend time with family. And if you guys haven't seen Ghostbusters Afterlife, please do, because I freaking love this film. My first theater experience back in 2 years. Last film I saw was Ford vs. Ferrari, and I did a whole stream last night talking about it while drawing the main character,
awesome.
Like Phoebe. She is a freaking scene stealer. Absolutely.
Oh my goodness, you are a talented person. Good gravy. Look at that, guys. Wow.
So yeah,
Delicious.
Absolutely love this film. Loved it.
All right. Well, that's great. Thanks, Mock. You guys, Mock's you're doing your drawing stream today, right?
Yes, I have Makani Live with a very special guest, Maria of Tea and Telling, joining us. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. I got to get her on this show. And then finally, our friend Shellbach is joining us. How's it going, Shelly? I think you're muted.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
All right. Good. You feeling good, sir?
Pretty decent.
It's a little cold in your neck.
Well, actually, it's warmed up a little bit, but it's still plenty wet. So, yeah.
All right.
Other than that, I'm kind of enjoying my daily exercise routine, which involves me like unloading trucks and lifting things, but I'm getting paid for it. Yay.
Oh, wow. You get paid to exercise. I love that. And I love how you spun the job into something that's more. Yeah. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Well, thanks for being here. And actually, let's say hi to everybody. We got Liger Fan hanging out with us. Lord of Thoth is here as well. Hello. We got Sander Hammer Slag. Good to see you, my friend. Mohammed Saeed is here. What is up? We've got the ever lovely Tina Bojan, who I owe a video chat with. We've got it's Courtney. What's up, Court? We got Joey 101 UK. Good evening to you. Judicon. What's up, Judicon? We got Bashi Washi's in the house. We got Parrot Head throwing down some turtle power. That's right.
Hey, bird.
And a real fast Boomer Keeney announcement. Yes, absolutely. Midas Day is here. What's up, Zach? We got there's Sherry. Hi, Sherry. Good to see you. Memes is here. What's up, Memes? Critizable, the low key. Oh, wait, he changed the name again. Critizable, the Turkey Slayer. Oh my. Ooh. Grumpy old Ninja Kentaro is here. Thank you again, my friend, for all of your support, retweets, and everything. In fact, thank you all for doing those things. It really does a lot. It really does a lot for your fellow creators. Let's put it that way, for your fellow independents. Court woke up to a snow-covered everything this morning. Well, that's kind of fun. It's a good way to start the winter, as winter is coming, if you could tell by the thumbnail. Good to see you, 70s, and Mr. Dragon. All right. Yeah, we are a bit early. We're doing an hour early today. Again, I got a family obligation, got to go meet. But it is what it is. So it'll be a lot of fun. Kitty Bear is here. He's listening while gaming. I understand that as well. So let's get right down to it, guys. We got some subjects to go through. I keep hinting that winter is coming. I strongly suspect other things are not. And if you can't guess what we're going to be talking about, here it is. George R.R. Martin is worried Game of Thrones wasn't following his template after season 5. Now, this is not the first time we've heard this. This story comes to us from The Independent via Yahoo News, and it's one of 10 different stories that have come out about George R.R. Martin in the last week. So, and they're all kind of interrelated, but for the most part, giving you different information. So let's fire through this one real quickly here. But very quickly, guys, I know that we talked about this during the rundown off camera before we started the show. Do you think these books are going to make it in time before he's gone, or do you think we're not getting the books?
What did you do? Was it you that quoted that he is like one cheeseburger away from, well,
yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, he's headed into his mid-70s. There's no doubt about it. He doesn't exactly take the best care of himself. I mean, he's a little rotund. Shellback, thoughts?
The books will be released post-mortem.
Okay.
I agree completely. I think he has them done, or he's got at least 3 or 4 different versions already, but I really don't think that he is ever going to commit to them. I think he's been scared away from it. But if he dies, I think that someone will be like, oh, hey, look, he did have a version that was almost finished. Who knew? Maybe we'll put it out there and make it a huge thing, So, I don't know.
Kitty Bear says the books are done, will be released after his demise, so he doesn't get the backlash from the particular side of the aisle. Ken Jack Ben says he may have already finished them. If he hasn't, the publisher can get him for fraud. That's also possible. Meme says the series lost its luster after they ran out of original content. Imagine my shock. Yeah, I'm no kidding. This guy's a cinnamon roll away from one cinnamon roll away. Cheeseburgers aren't necessarily bad for you. It depends on your meat to bun ratio. So there you go. Yeah. And we have other comments. Here's the one from Grumpy I wanted to highlight. I support Jane Theory and Sporking News podcasts. So do I. But I have strongly suspected, as Shellback does, that the books will come out post-mortem. You're not wrong. I think that's quite possible. I think everybody's theory when it comes to that, I'll buy it. I'll buy that theory. I really will. The problem is, that would be a shame, right? Because he would not get to, hopefully revel in the success of his creation, But let's read the story real quick, or at least parts of it. George R.R. Martin began to worry about the HBO adaptation of his novel after the 5th season of Game of Thrones aired. Yeah, no kidding. An excerpt of a newly published Tinderbox, HBO's Ruthless Pursuit of New Frontiers, essentially talks about the fact, or reveals that in 2015, Martin was not happy with the show's direction. He began to worry about the path that we were going down as early as season 5. He also said he loves Dan and Dave, but after season 5, he did start to worry about the path they were going down because George knows where the story goes. He started saying, "You're not following the template." And then they went off of his roadmap. So basically, featured storylines from that season were beginning the internship at the House of Black and White, as well as Daenerys Targaryen meeting Tyrion and banishing Jorah. Yeah. And by the way, Martin has still insisted that to this very day, he hasn't told anybody who wins the Iron Throne. So there you go, guys. Answers from the man himself via an excerpt in somebody else's book. So, thoughts, kids?
Well, I can definitely see how that would be problematic in like just like the smallest sense, like when they were doing the Harry Potter movies, for instance, there were choices that were made that left certain things out of the storyline that they later had to either like make up to like fill the gaps or just like rush in detail wise because they didn't know when they were making the movies how important certain things were, even though they had J.K. Rowling there to kind of like guide it. And I imagine that two really pretentious people, like the ones who were heading Game of Thrones, probably took the notes that George R.R. Martin went. And he was like, oh, yeah, we know exactly how to get there. But if you give somebody an endpoint and not necessarily any way to get there, they can go in completely different direction than you had anything planned for. So I personally am not surprised by hearing that at all. And also, I don't hold it completely against George R.R. Martin because it was Dan and Davis, right?
Dan and Dave.
Dave.
Yeah, Dan and Dave. They're the ones who decided to cap what season to end it on. Like I feel like if that show had kept going, it would have actually gotten better and better because they would have taken the time and had everything in there. And being an end, like the author who has like this huge story to tell still and see it all squished together into like 2 seasons, basically, it's just like, I don't know. I'm going to ramble, but I can imagine, I can totally see how that would be a hot mess that he didn't have planned originally.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, if you give somebody an end point or an idea of the ending, they can definitely fill it in a completely messed up way. And I think that may have been what happened. I think you're right there, or you may be right. We don't know yet, and we won't. And as Memes said earlier in the chat, there is a correct fan theory out there. Good luck figuring out which one it is.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good to see everybody that just jumped in. Appreciate all of you. Happy Sunday, Ironcaster, Keely Chow, Tim Possible, Boshi Washi, John River, Benzo H, and Raj, who just showed up with his thumbs up. Cosmic Squirrel, low spec Linux laptop, Punk Trace, Naked Fame. Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it, one and all. All right, well, there's more George news, guys. Like I said, I whittled this down to 3 stories from 10. So let's start with this. This is from the man's mouth once again. By the way, did you guys know he blogs all the time? Of course you knew that. Wins by he is writing. He's just blog anyway. Okay, wins the winter progress update from George R.R. Martin. I've been working too bloody hard. I don't know what is bloody a bad word? I don't know about that. Wins the winter author George R.R. Martin has shared how he's getting on with the latest game of stuff. I'm sorry, I had to stop the video there. And now I have to close the video. He's getting on with the latest Game of Thrones book amid tons of other projects he's working on. It's been 2.5 years since Game of Thrones concluded on TV in the last few seasons, entering the territory of yet to be written books. And it's over 10 years since the last Song of Ice and Fire novel was published. 10 years. J.K. Rowling wrote 7 books inside of 10 years, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And the 73-year-old it confirmed in his latest blog post that he's plugging away at the epic among a ton of other projects. That's the problem. Too many things. But it doesn't have a release date, which we knew. So Martin updated fans on his blog that he's opening a restored 19th century railroad called the Sky Railway. The author is also estimated worth of $120 million when he bought the railway in 2020 with a group of business partners. He says in his post, he wrote this: I've been working, yes, but not on the railroad. Ha ha. I've been writing Winds of Winter. Good.
Okay.
Aside from working on the long-delayed Game of Thrones, the 73-year-old said he's been... Notice how many times I say 73 years old? He's been editing 3 new wildcard books and has some big TV adaptation meetings. These are the books, guys. Check them out. This is his plan, by the way. This is his plan of release. if we ever see it.
Is one of them? Does one of them say "Winds of Winter"? Oh, there is one.
There it is, right here. Yeah, no one's a winner. Yeah, it looks like a horn. It's a very horny book cover. All right, listing the many other projects he's involved with, Martin joked, I've been sitting down with some amazing screenwriters and showrunners to create 370 new Game of Thrones successor shows for HBO and HBO Max. That's fun. And I'm serving as executive producer on various other television and film projects in various stages of developments. We know. Dark Winds for AMC, Joker Town for Peacock, Road Marks, and Who Fears Death for HBO. And he just finished being an EP on Howard Waldrop's Night of the Cooters. So he clarified, so I have been working maybe too bloody hard, but that's another tale for another blog, though these days even finding the time to blog is hard. Write the book.
Yeah. So hard to blog while I'm busy not writing.
Okay. So let me get this straight. Writing is not hard. Writing is hard. Didn't you? Weren't you the one who said that? We all could castrate him if he doesn't finish the book by the end of 2020. Wasn't he the one who kept himself secluded in a log cabin, Culture Casino style, during lockdown just so he could finish the book, and he was blogging the whole time?
Yep.
We're talking about the same George R. R. Martin, right?
We are. We are.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify.
We are. Yeah. I don't even know, to be honest with you.
Night of the Cooters?
Yeah.
Okay, that I don't know about you guys, but where I grew up, that
that might be a derogatory term, maybe in reference to something, but I didn't name it. I just read the story. It's not me.
Culture. I'm so insulted.
I don't want anybody to be upset. To be honest with you.
Now I'm just picturing a sequel to The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
No, well, what's the genre for this?
Okay, now. Save that for later.
One man chose as George equals don't care. Yes, I think so. I do think so.
We're not talking about George Mahal, though.
Ironcaster, I'll release a book before Winds of Winter, and I'm not writing one. Okay. 10 years is too long. It's never coming. Yes, Naked Fame. That's kind of the theme of today's show. What win? What did I miss? I didn't have a great night. Oh, no, Court. That's not good. Well, you got to see snow this morning. That's kind of awesome, though. D&D could have done 15 seasons with just what was written. This is true. Philip A. Demick is hitting the nail with the hammer. Well done. They skipped a whole bunch to get to the difficult parts, the politically oriented stuff. Trust fund babies thought they knew better than someone spending their livelihood writing. Well, I can't disagree with any of those points.
I agree.
Now, I'm going to cheer you up, guys. There's a good story about George coming up next. So we'll get there.
Wait, is this one that he is finishing it? Are you just like teasing us?
No, I'm not talking about the books. I'm not talking about the books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and BK Panther says this, by the time he finishes, he would have lost all followers from the show. People won't remember the story. That's kind of a fear, right? That people are just going to check out. The book hasn't been delayed by other projects he isn't looking at. He wants Hollywood money, not book sales money. That's true. What's up, Deleted Scenes? Good to see you, my friend. Grumpy, I hope you're doing well. I've been hearing stuff and seeing pictures, so I have concerns. What's up, Jaffa? Good to see you. Morning, Scaff. Bashi Washi says he can't do the book in such current modern times. Let's put it that way. Culture. He won't say it, but we all know it. It's true. Or he could just do it and just release it. At this point, I mean, he mispronounced somebody's name at the politically oriented book awards. It didn't used to be that way. That book awards wasn't that way, but I don't want to get into that, but it's one of those things I don't. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, serious comment here. Like, okay, when the show was on, right?
Yeah.
When the show was on, and they did that last season. I was actually playing devil's advocate for the ending. Okay, But then, when I got to thinking about it, I'm like, it really started to irritate me because I'm like, no, not him. It's supposed to be John, okay? And supposedly, right? Supposedly, Martin told D&D how it was going to end. So if that's how it ends in the books, then I don't want him to finish them.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Sander, I think you're right. People have already checked out. The show may have soured a lot of people to these book properties, and like I said, there were 10 plus stories this week on George alone. So there lots of things were happening, right? Just write Martin off as another fallen promising writer and put his books on a shelf to collect dust and be forgotten. Wow, Lord Trennan. I hope for all of the mega fans out there that we're wrong about this, or maybe we're right in a sense that the books are finished. They will come out posthumously. Maybe, I don't know. IFK thoughts any before we move on to the next one, or no?
I still believe that he's got him and he's sitting on it. And we will at some point someday actually have a published version, be it, if not his choice, someone else's choice, that it gets published. I don't know. I'm curious to see how he will get to the end, because I mean, like, I get if it is the person that was picked at the end of the show, I still believe that there's a way to get to that where it actually makes sense. Because just like all the characters that were cut out of the show that are in the books and vice versa, there could be a whole story that hasn't been told yet about that character getting to that point. So
yeah, that's true. And Zach says, when I jumped in here, you were talking about a writer named George. I honestly thought you were talking about George Molo. He's actually writing. George. That's right. George. Yeah, no, man. Oh, wow. His videos lately have been brilliant. Did you guys catch the Ghostbusters one? He tied Thanksgiving into his Ghostbusters Afterlife review. It was incredible. And now that you guys have all seen the film, which we're going to get to in just a minute, guys, I have to say that he did such a great job with that video. I watched it twice. That's how good it was. Your thoughts, Mock? Thoughts on any of this, the second George story as we move into the third?
It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry, Scott, Jane, I love y'all, but it's not gonna happen. It's gone to the point where you're making excuses. You got all these projects, all this stuff here, and you're making false promises here.
Yeah.
No, you're not gonna finish the books. If he hasn't finished it by now, he's not gonna finish it. That's how I believe, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, I'm at the point now where things are I don't believe I'm going to see these books before he passes. So if they're already written and they come out posthumously, that's great. I just don't think we'll see them beforehand. And I think that Lord Trennan says, harsh, I know, but everything I hear just doesn't offer much hope on the future of his books. And that's the truth. And you know what? Ancient Rebirth is giving us an idea that if you really want to irritate him, just tell him he's a dollar store J.R.R. Tolkien. So there you go.
Ouch.
Yeah, either he doesn't want to finish them or he can't. It's true. I want to believe, but I really can't disagree. Machiny, yeah. Memes is on it. CC is a nickname of mine from childhood initials. I keep thinking I'm popular. So confusing. Well, I'll call you CC as well. Court. I like calling you Court. Shell, you want to move on to the next story, or you want to opine some more?
No, this horse has been beaten enough.
Okay, so no more horsey. Okay, here we go. Martin has announced Sky Railway opening. That's right. He's opening the railroad that we just read about. It's coming up soon, guys. Here we go. George R.R. Martin announced the opening of Sky Railway. It was the renamed and renovated historic short haul railroad he purchased with other investors in 2020. Mostly what I've been doing is throwing out ideas and writing checks, Martin said. And here's his quote, guys. We had two big old diesel locomotives. So right off, we decided we would run 2 trains, the Wolf and the Dragon, and to paint them and give each its own character and look unlike any other train in the country. We hired Santa Fe's own Jarrell Numina, an amazing gifted muralist and graffiti artist. So they're going to have custom paint jobs, and they're obviously themed around his writings. The train's going to run between Santa Fe and Lammy, New Mexico, which is where he lives. Tickets are available for purchase already, and Sky Railway starts running on December 3rd, 2021. So just a few days away, guys. So if you want to go and ride the rails on, the Wolf or the Dragon, there you are, and that's how you do it. So that's kind of fun, isn't it? Super excited now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Kinda.
If I lived nearby, I would totally do it, but I wouldn't go over there.
If I was in Santa Fe, New Mexico, then yes.
Yeah, I think what they missed out on was creating the Game of Thrones land and then connecting the train, because then, people would totally go to that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Awesome. And perhaps that might be an end goal, is to build a theme park on the other side of the tracks.
It is one Martin project that would start and finish. So
that's true, and that's also true. That's also true. 70s Rock fans, sorry if this was mentioned, but he's also involved in the upcoming RPG Elden Ring. Yeah, actually, I think we talked about it backstage before we started, but yeah, that's another thing he's involved. He's involved in it's a lot of stuff. It's like I recognize that I am involved in a lot of stuff, but I have reached the threshold of stuff, so I can't do more stuff. So just is what it is. You just have to realize those boundaries. Tolkien did finish a series. Yeah, that's true. Darius is hanging out here saying hi to everybody. Is the railway going to be like GOT? Show starts good, but ends terrible. I hope not, Soul Assassin. But actually, sounds like between 2 points, you can't screw that up too much. But we'll see. It's interesting, but again, December 3rd, guys, December 3rd. Thank you, Cosmic Fusion, for the $2, my friend. Guys, check out Cosmic Fusion's channel. Well over 1,000 subs and growing, so do check that out. And thank you again, my friend, for the $2 super chat. So he has a railway that has no ending. You just fall off a bridge. I don't think that's true, Scaff, but okay. Wow. Woo!
No, that just turns into the Back to the Future land. You ride your train straight across the unfinished tracks. There you go.
Yeah, and Punk Trace hasn't rewatched Game of Thrones since it ended. See, here's the problem. Up until the last 2 seasons, I would go back and rewatch everything before the next season came out. And then before the last season of Game of Thrones, I rewatched it a couple of times. And every time I got towards the later seasons, I would start to go, wow, and just kind of skip a little, right? Because there were parts in it that didn't flow well. A lot of it's making more sense now. But I since it ended, I haven't watched it again. That's weird.
Yeah, a lot of those moments are when character motivations get lost because the people creating the stuff don't know what to do with them at that point. So I think a lot of the characterization issues with the later seasons was just that they didn't know what those characters would do because they didn't have the guidance,
Yeah. I think that's probably true. I do know this. You're right. One of the first companies that I know that was using this word and still does to this day and is actually the most effective at it is the Disney Corp. To maximize profit, they have all the different elements of the business working in conjunction with the same goal in mind, ultimately supporting each other and being more and more profitable. It is true. CJ sends us a super sticker. It's a fist bump for $3. Thank you, CJ, from Orville Nation. Guys, support Orville Nation. Great.
What you mean, PJ?
It's PJ.
You said CJ.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I done that twice now? PJ, sorry. Man, brain. It's stream brain, guys. It's real. But no, thank you for the super sticker. But do check out Orville Nation. The channel's amazing. Great guest commentary, of course. Malozzi's on there all the time. Creator of many things, including Dark Matter, which I became a fan of solely because of Orville Nation and the great humans over there. So thank you for that, PJ.
That is a good show. That is a good show.
There's a documentary on Peter Jackson. He collects and restores old planes. That's cool. Granted, Jackson doesn't have a book series waiting for an end. This is also true. Yeah, I don't know. First of all, do you think the train thing really got in the way of writing?
No.
I mean, he's writing checks for that, right? So he's writing. He's writing the books. He's writing checks.
He's writing something, just not the books.
I still think he's done. I think he's just blowing time
for you.
Yeah, oh, yeah, he could. Yeah, as accountant. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, FK. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm still under the thought that he's finished and he's just blowing time. He can do whatever he wants, anyways. But I mean, if I had that amount of money and I was making excuses to not do some work, I would probably buy a train too.
Yeah, I would love to have like my own like train. You know what? I take that back. Elon Musk wanted to build the Hyperloop. I want a Hyperloop. That's what I want to buy.
The CultureCasino Hyperloop. CultureCasino hype train.
LA to Vegas in 10 minutes, right? Or Vegas to LA in 10 minutes would be friggin' amazing. Apparently Elden Ring is pretty good, so I've heard it was going to be. I was proud of my analogy. Okay. I didn't see the whole series until it all finished. I watched it all once, tried to watch it a second time, but couldn't finish the final. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's how I feel about this thing, which is stinky, right, Lord Trinan? Wes is in the chat. Wes, you're welcome on the panel, buddy. I wish you were in here. I know I started early today. I had a family thing. I tried to explain that to everyone. Rogue Disney, howdy. What's going on, Rogue Disney? Good to see you, buddy. Oh, you're fine. No, it's my fault, Wes. It's my fault, buddy. I really wish I'd have reached out sooner. Same here. Haven't watched it since. Yeah, lots of people. So, let's see. It started off well, but the final 2 seasons stunk. Yes, that's true, Punk Trace. Yeah, Dark Matter was great. Absolutely. Ancient Reaper. I'm actually in the middle of rewatching for the billionth time the LOTR movies. Tonight will be Return of the King. Yeah, I can't. Those are okay. So this is a good question because this is going to lead into our next subject. Are there films that if they're on in the room, right? You happen to be watching by the TV that you stop, sit down, and finish. Are there films like that for you guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. For me, it's Lord of the Rings, right? Any of the Lord of the Rings films or the Star Wars films. If the film's on, well, even for the most part, except for the fourth one, the Indiana Jones films, I will walk into the room. If those are on, I will sit down and finish them. Right?
Yep.
What are they for you, AFK? What are those films?
I would say that like the Indiana Jones movies do that for me. I'm a sucker for any of the Jurassic Park movies, even the third one. That one's my guiltiest of all pleasures because it's just so awful, but I love dinosaurs. So, I'll sit down and watch all of those.
Right. Well, even the most recent ones.
Actually, you know what? I wasn't even thinking about that. I think that they're okay action movies, but actually I would probably flip around and see if there was something else on. But if I couldn't find anything, I'd settle.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. What's up, Bruce? Good to see you.
I think my problem with the Lord of the Rings movies, and I love them to F's sake. I watched them so many times. But it's always been Elijah Wood for me. I'm sorry. I'm just one of those people. He kind of bugs me. And I read the books and saw the animated films before these movies ever came out. And I just thought he was the worst version of Frodo ever. Oh, God, I know I'm horrible. I'm sorry. I'm going to go hide in a corner now. But
you're fine. I asked for your opinion. Shellbach, anything that you walk into a room and you got to finish?
Well, I mean, like some of my DVDs that I have, like I've got all the Die Hard movies, and I would definitely have to sit down and finish at least, like the first 3 or 4. The last one's iffy for me. I might not finish that one, but there's one that it's a true story, or it's based on a true story, and I rarely ever get up or put it on pause, and that's Ford versus Ferrari.
Hell yes.
And it's just an absolutely awesome story of the relationship between Carroll Shelby and Ken Miles. And even though a certain particular part is coming up, and you don't like you don't like that part, but it just, I don't know, I love that movie. I've watched it more times than I can remember counting.
Yeah. No, I think yeah, you picked some really good ones, and so is the chat. I mean, Roger Rabbit, people in here talking about, their guilty pleasure Christmas movies. Believe me, every Christmas you always have films that you put in to watch, or you make sure you watch. That's normal. And of course, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Absolutely. Last Starfire, Independence Day, Three Amigos. There's so many of these, right? I believe. We've got Tina Bojan says Shawshank Redemption, A Christmas Story, and Grosse Pointe Blank. Grosse Pointe Blank, I can tell you, is one of those you can watch a zillion times. Christmas Story for sure. Man, Shawshank Redemption is hard on my soul. I don't know that I could I might be able to walk away with that. Some people, Terry Rose says Starship Troopers. So yeah, absolutely. Sometimes a good action movie to disconnect is great. Harold and Maude or Edward Scissorhands, absolutely, I can see that. You know what, Machini, it's your turn, my friend. Something you walk into.
So the obvious answers are, of course, the original and prequel trilogy. I will happily sit down and watch those immediately. With the sequel trilogy, I immediately change the channel. I immediately get the remote, change the channel, or turn the TV off. A few, I would say all three Captain America films. If I saw them coming on, I would definitely sit down and watch. I would say a few of the Pixar films, definitely the ones you guys mentioned. Surprisingly enough for me, you mentioned Shellbat mentioned Ford versus Ferrari. I would up one and add Nicolas Cage is Gone 60 Seconds plus Rush with what's his name, Daniel Bruhl and Chris Hemsworth.
Right.
And surprisingly enough, if they were to come on, I would sit down and watch, and that would be the first Fast and the Furious and Tokyo Drift.
Nice.
I will happily sit down and watch those again if they were somehow popped up on my show.
Yeah.
Up on my channel.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of those. Murder by Death is your favorite film ever, says Darren, like My Father Before Me. Yeah, there's just a love of those, man. There are a lot of films that like they just you will always watch them, and sometimes you elect to sit down and watch them, or it's like you guys know the comfort food, the concept of comfort food. I think we have comfort films and comfort television
films. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I didn't mention the Star Wars. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I didn't mention the Star Wars OT because, I don't know, that's just kind of a given, I think. But
that's what I said. It was just
I've actually thought of a couple of others that are like just sit down and like watch them all the way through every time. And that's Gremlins and The Goonies.
Oh yeah, good call.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, Gremlins is a great Christmas watch. I know people don't think so, but I love that one. Lola makes great stuff, guys. Does promote content creators like our very own Machini right here. You can check out her shows, Lola After Midnight, occasionally, and they're off. They're great to catch. Again, supporting independent creators, and that's kind of what we all do. In fact, I think on Twitter I watched Lola like post a bunch of Indiegogo like books that she bought. So do check those out, guys. Do check those streams out when they run. You will discover up and coming creators out there, and believe me, it's worth figuring out who you want to back. So do check that out. Let's see. The Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines. Two movies my family loves so much we can recite perfectly from memory is Clue, fantastic film.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And Stalag 17. No idea why we love these so much, but we really do. I understand the love for Clue, my friend. I really do. Grumpy Old Ninja Kentaro brings out RoboCop. Yes.
Nice.
I would add on and this is going to be my segue. I would add on, of course, the first Ghostbusters. I would immediately sit down and watch, no matter what channel it was on. Ghostbusters 2, and hopefully in the future, when it makes it to TV, Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Heck yeah. Very smooth. Very smooth.
And then you know what? We will segue right into that. Let's just finish up with the chat, because Liger fan says Clue's great, which we've agreed. Wrath of Khan is spectacular. Let's see. Joakim Stark rolled in. That's good to see. Most of those cars the people find fascinating must be a rare breed. Yeah. Sometimes people really get into the vehicle movies, no doubt about it. Wes Moody sent a $1.99 super sticker. It's a thumbs up. Wes, you don't have to do that, but thank you for the support, my friend. And I'm sorry that we did not get you on the panel this morning, but we will be back to regular time next Sunday. So just keep that in mind. Programming note. I'm thinking Friday, I will be up north. So depending upon what's going on with the upgraded internet up there, I will most likely be able to do the Friday pre-flight. At least I'm going to hope so. So we'll see from there. The Great Race, Mommy Dearest. A lot of people are throwing out some great stuff. Top Secret. That is so funny, Darren. That is so funny. No doubt about it. Rocky Horrors, another spectacular one that most people will sit down and watch. Rush, Ford versus Ferrari. Ford versus Ferrari was a good film, to be honest with you.
And so is the original Gone 60 Seconds, which props for you on that one.
Let's see. The internet is a series of tubes. There you go. Hey, what's up, Ruben? Good to see you, my friend. Ruben, I will get back with you with the thing you asked for here in the next 24 hours after we've been able to go over some stuff. But yeah, I will get back with you.
I got a question for you, Culture.
Yeah, go ahead.
So since Clue was brought up, right? And if I'm not mistaken, the great John Cleese was in that movie, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But which one?
What do you think? Or did you hear it first? Did you hear about it? And second, if you did, what do you think about him canceling himself?
Oh, I think he doesn't care. I mean, you get to a certain age, it doesn't matter. You likely weren't going to do many projects anyway. I mean, not everybody's going to be Ben Kingsley or some of the older actors that went on to further their success. I mean, and there are other actors who don't even start until their 50s, right? That become the magnetic person that they were always, that nobody knew. And that's a little different. But
you could throw in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, or anything with Steve Martin is something you would have to sit down and watch.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the jerk, the man with two brains. I mean, yeah, it was so good. So with that being said, and the Scaff is 100% correct about anything that Frank Capra ever did, because anything that's Capra-esque should be respected and revered, in my opinion. Let's move on to great films you would watch again now. Well, not necessarily Encanto, which the box office, they had a pretty big box office open, 43.2, at least projected for by the end of Sunday. But consider this, that number is still less than the 44.5 for the opening weekend for Ghostbusters Afterlife. Also, Ghostbusters Afterlife performed very well again with incredible legs, dropping just a few points less than 40%, or a little more, I should say, than 40% weekend over weekend, which means it is going to be around $88 to $90 million by the end of today. So its 5-day was pretty impressive as well. But of course, the other films that opened were House of Gucci, which came in at 21.8, and a couple of others that just really stunningly underperformed, maybe is a way to put it. But anyway, Obviously, the box office will be far less than previous, and Kanto will be the top domestic. MGM's House of Gucci will become one of the first substantial earnings for adult dramas. They really are stretching for how to show that this went really well.
Well, it had an all-star cast, so
yeah. Disney's Encanto has been projected to lead the holiday weekend on so-called the Friday. It took in 11 million, headed towards 43.3. This is way below the recent openings of like Frozen 2 for 130 million and Ralph Breaks the Internet at 84 million, Coco at 72 million. So it's really not where we really aren't where we were in 2019, 2018. That's not surprising. Lady Gaga looked weird in her premiere event. I don't know if you guys saw any pictures from that. I mean, my suspicion is she's maybe I'm not going to say it. Pregnant was going to be a guess, but I could be wrong. She doesn't look quite the same. I'm interested in seeing what happens with House of Gucci overall, but here's the cool thing. So you get all this other stuff with all these new films until you get to this part of the story. Again, this is the way media perception works nowadays. Ghostbusters Afterlife took the runner-up slot, which means it ran second to Encanto, a film that just opened, with Sony projecting a 5-day total of between 35 and 38 million. I think they're wrong. I think it's going to finish at 39, but that's okay. Mm-hmm. The comedy revival topped the domestic box office last weekend, earning 44 million, 44.5. Let's be honest. Sony's strategy of opening Afterlife slightly before Thanksgiving did stir up solid word of mouth, and it definitely is expanding its domestic cume, about 88.5 million after Sunday. I think it could reach 90, and it's well on its way to surpassing the $100 million mark. Yes.
Yes,
Eternal somehow managed to pull in another 11 million over 5 days. That's impressive, isn't it? And it could pass $150 million domestically after who knows how long it's been out there. But I think it's really interesting that this is the way the story goes. But I think it's even more interesting when we get to this one. And the reason I'm going right into it is because it feeds into this. Encanto conjuring up 43 million. Again, they're giving it the best possible number they can on their estimates. Basically saying that, it had a decent opening. It had a long opening. And again, talking about all the films it compares to. But here's the interesting thing, and I shared this backstage before we got started. It had a $120 million budget before marketing. For an animated film.
Before marketing? Holy crap.
Before marketing.
Was it? Well, here's the question. Here's the question, and I think I asked this to Mr. and Mrs. Datman walking on last night's stream. Did you guys see any promotion for Encanto?
Very little.
I'll tell you one thing. Yeah. I haven't been on Twitter at all because I've been avoiding it. I don't even recognize the name.
Encanto?
So, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. But it's really strange. Hey, Captain Trek. Guys, Captain Trek has a great channel, Morning Brew Shows. Check those out in the morning. They obviously run about 2.5 hours, 3 hours before the 6-minute dailies that I do on the weekdays. So do check out Captain Trek's Morning Brew. But yeah, it's really weird, these numbers, right? I mean, and again, as AFK says, you had no idea that this was a thing, right? You didn't recognize the name or nothing. And you're not alone. I mean, when did you first hear about the film, AFK? I guess that should be the question.
This morning.
Oh no!
Damn.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I'm not really that into the online stuff in the last month, but at the same time, I think that I'm more of a good way to measure based off normie stature.
Right.
Because I'm not going out of my way to find this stuff, but I'm still watching shows on TV and getting ads and stuff.
Right.
I haven't heard of it at all until this morning.
That's amazing, right? That is anti-Disney marketing. You always know what they have coming out. And I want to say thank you to Darius Munchausen for the box of popcorn. I also want to say the Gilkman's 100% right. Lady Gaga's a weird person. Well, I think she's a great actress. Holy cow. I mean, did you see, I think somebody mentioned it. Yeah. Lady Gaga was amazing in American Horror Story Hotel. Did you guys see that one?
I have not.
Oh, ooh, very, very good.
She
right?
was good in A Star Is Born.
Oh yeah, she's incredible in A Star Is Born.
That's right.
So, yeah, and that's really great. Plus, she sings with Tony Bennett, the stuff that she did there. I mean, I'm always impressed with her. So please don't get me wrong. I think she's 100% represents what she's given, and I think actually that's actually what Thomas says here for $4.99. Thank you, Thomas. You didn't have to do that, my friend, but I appreciate the support. He says for $4.99. Lady Gaga is a very weird person, 100%. Yeah, well, okay. I like I said, I mean, your public personas may be different than your authentic self. I don't know, but she's a talented actress when given the right stuff. Absolutely, yeah. And she's from the same hospital. Wow, I did not know that. That's amazing, Gilkman. That's really cool, brother.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. Zan Sultan says, "I heard about this movie right now." Oh boy, but I find this fascinating, right? I mean, that's not what I meant to do. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, $120 million on an animated cartoon. Do you know how much Ghostbusters cost?
75 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. 75 million. 75 million. It and weekend to weekend. By the way, this is the one of the shallowest drops we've had weekend to weekend performance wise. It dropped 43%. 43. That's tiny compared to what it's normally 50 something plus, 60 something plus, almost 70% weekend to weekend for these other films, not for Ghostbusters. So it's, it opened at 44 million. It's going to get about 38 from the 5-day. Yeah, it barely fell off, and it's only got a $75 million budget. Not quite half, or a little over half of what they spent on an animated film.
Oof.
That's just insane.
Yeah. I really hope Afterlife hangs on. I really do.
I think it will.
I want it to perform so well, so we can just like shove it down the throat of like GB 2016 people and just all the naysayers.
It's already shoving down the throats of basically the Eternals, and Disney property is. I think this is the second Disney film is probably going to beat back to back.
Well, look, Sony is killing it right now. Think about it. Think about how many films they've released this year. In fact, the article that I just had up kind of leans into that thought process as well. But I mean, Sony's films this year, big earners. Big money, big prizes.
It's no surprise that, and even Valiant Renegade said this. Yeah, we're probably going to get the first $1 billion post-pandemic film with Spider-Man: No Way Home, and that's part Sony.
Yeah, and I think it'll be just shy of $1 billion, but I'm not going to quibble over that. I hear you, Mock. I think it will be the best performer of the year, no doubt about it. And Sherry, I love your new icon. That's really cool. She went from a picture to a really cute little icon there. That's cool. And Soul Assassin, you're right. I mean, low budget means creativity. It does.
Every time I see Sherry, I think of Steve Perry.
Oh, yeah, that's a great song. Punk Tracy says, I also never heard of it until you mentioned it. See, this is insanity. It's Disney. What Disney things do you not know about? Like in advance, this is just nuts. What are the global results for GBA? You know what? Here's the problem with a foreign box office right now. Unless you are allowed to view the data, which I actually applied for on Numero or something like that, the real-time theatrical information. We won't probably know that till late Monday or Tuesday. But anticipated based on what happened in a few of the other countries that it had opened in last weekend, I think it did probably pretty well. I mean, it opened pretty big in the UK. So, you guys have any thoughts on any of that?
so far, when you look up the U.S. box office, all it says for most part is 60. It's 60 million. And the only thing you find, and I think I found this last night, was just the Forbes article from Scott Mendelson talking about its box office performance compared to Encanto this weekend. So I'm very much looking forward to what's going to happen at the end of this weekend, and I'm looking forward to the Tuesday stream where you and Tom are going to talk about it, because I think it's going to do. I think it really is going to do numbers, and like I said, you notice at first, when the critics got a hold of it first, they just beaten this film into the ground.
Yep.
But the fans, the movie-going public, they said, no, we're coming out in droves to support this film.
Yep.
And sure enough,
big win.
They did.
Yeah. Big win. Yeah. And I think that's really good. And Darren, I think you're right. Arcane looks like it might be pretty good. I'll be picking that up.
I've heard nothing but amazing things.
Yeah, I'll be picking that up either today or tomorrow. I will start my viewing of it, I should say. Ken Jack Ben saw a few commercials for it on Pluto TV. That's cool. I did hear this. We've talked about this before. Is Marvel suing the Stan Lee estate? They want to keep the characters. Obviously, and that may be why they've been leaning so hard so fast into derivatives that they can then use going forward, and poorly done derivatives. I mean, that's kind of what you're getting now. We'll see it. Yeah. Senselton. Yeah, honestly, I didn't hear about it. Disney trying to have so much Eternals. Yep. They never let other movies shine. It's true. Yeah. Yeah, look at that smile. Let's see. Has anyone seen the Beatles documentary Get Back yet? It is definitely worth a view. Peter Jackson did a great job. Had to really talk Ringo and Paul into letting him do it. It's got a lot of language that you would normally find on Disney Plus, and smoking and drinking. So check it out. Yeah, Darren, you did. No, you did change it. You had I think the elephant one before, right? Yeah. I'm sorry. I did. It was the animated thing, or the illustrated thing caught my eye. That's again why I use this, and some other stuff was created for me by artists including Makini. Makini did. Let's see. Makini did one for me that isn't loaded right now. I think I had to take it off because I was doing a character for a script thing. But I will. Like I said, Makini is one of the people that did them for me. I like all of the avatars, guys. I really do. I think it's cool. It shows a personality. In fact, oh my goodness, he's doing more. Check it out, guys. Look at what Makini can do. That's beautiful.
A little preview of what I'm doing for our special guest on Makini Live.
I can't wait. I'm so excited for Makini Live today. Lonnie Holcomb says hello. Hey, what's up, Lonnie Holcomb? And also cool avatar. I did read this. I have thoughts on it. They will get shared on another stream, maybe on Monday, yelling at parked cars. Perhaps it'll be something we cover. 100% full power, ultra instinct, Shaggy cannon, restore the Snyderverse. Don't know.
We don't know. We do not know.
I don't know. Yeah, targeted marketing campaigns don't seem to work. But you know what? It's weird that you want to cater to you. Things are successful if they're appealing to the broader audience, in my opinion. So
okay, I said this. Okay, so I said this last night. My stance is, and I think my friend Dadman, he said this a great point, is that it can go the other way. If you go the other way around and do something that is only sole purpose is pleasing the fans, it can be just as bad.
Oh, equally. That's
equally as bad. You got to find that middle ground. For me personally, regardless if you're doing it for fans or not, just show that you actually have respect for the original material or material that you're working with. Yeah. That's all I ask. Just show some damn respect.
Well, and that's go ahead, FK.
I'm agreeing in that, like, I think that it's just like it's not even the word respect. It's like we put the word respect in there, but at the end of the day, if you are creative and a good enough writer, then it will make itself. Like if you take the pieces that exist and all the things there, and you can make something out of it that's recognizable and good. I mean, people. They'd flock to it. Like say this Ghostbusters movie, right? Yep. If you took the title Ghostbusters off it and you gave it a different title, and it still had the same story, kind of the same background, I like the idea behind it, I'd still say it was a great movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it would be a very good movie, although it would seem familiar if you took the Ghostbusters
or called it Afterlife, a Ghostbusters story.
Yeah, or something. But maybe again, it doesn't. I don't know that it matters much. But I just wanted to wave at Maria with T and Telly, of course, another channel here on YouTube, and a special guest of Machiny Live in a little while, guys. So we'll be hopefully sending you over there in a bit. Lonnie Holcomb for $5. Thank you for that. Appreciate it, Lonnie. Says Shellbach. Didn't the Mighty Jingles have a World of Warships game of yours on his channel last week or so? Shellbach?
Wouldn't have said much. Yeah. What? The Mighty Jingles. I don't know. I've slept since then. I'm sorry. I don't. It's not ringing a bell. I don't know.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll see.
I know it's sad.
It's been a long week, man.
It's been a long week, man. It's been a
Court wants you to make a pretty Christmas picture for Court.
Aw, if I'm not busy, then I will definitely will try.
Yeah, there you go. Darren also likes to draw. Check it out. Look at how beautiful that is. Darren changed his icon again. Look at awesome. Man, you guys are all talented.
Okay, you guys are okay. So here's the thing here. We're back to like guest spots, and I think I got a bunch of people lined up for guests for like throughout December.
That's cool.
Do I need to add Darren as well? Do I need to add?
You might need to look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. That would be cool,
Darren. That is absolutely beautiful.
Darren's like, is Darren now it's a competition who can draw Courtney a pretty Christmas picture.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Mr. Stay Puffed, a Ghostbusters story. Thank you, the cheese factor. Oh, I love it. You guys are great. Deconstruction is easier than creation, says Zach. So yeah, I agree with you. I really do. I think that's the problem right now. Is they don't know how to create anymore. There's no imagination. They just destroy shit. I just cursed on my channel.
Well, even in food deconstruction, I think the aim is to maintain the spirit of the original meal, and you're just giving it in a different form. But with all this deconstruction of movies and television and stuff, it's like they're just pulling it apart and building whatever the heck they want out of it,
Right. And it's just that it's that mindset. It's that mindset of just thinking that just like you're better than you thinking you're better, or what you're going to create is better than what came before it. So hence why you're deconstructing it, because you think it's stunning and brave. It's
hubris.
It's pseudo. It's pretentious. It's all those kind of things.
Absolutely.
Hubris.
Sheer fudging hubris.
Well, there you go. Thank you. Lonnie said the reason. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that's what happens when you have a pretty much like a generation of like nihilists, in doing this.
It is. It is, yeah. I mean, and again, postmodernism being the culprit there. I think there was an interesting tweet I saw that if you remove those two elements from things, you would deconstruction, postmodernism, and all that. If you remove those two things, from any curriculum, you would see an immediate improvement from education, and elsewhere. I thought that was an interesting thought. Lonnie Holcomb says that the player was called Shellback, so that's why they were asking you as if you were playing or not. So maybe you weren't.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Monkey Jeebus says culture's dressed like he's in Caddyshack. Okay, I'll take that. Love that.
I'm all right.
Don't gotta worry about me. Mac, that looks awesome, says Orville Nation.
He was praising the drawing I did of Phoebe last night on last night's stream as well.
Rugo Betta says, I get more hyped for a Wes Anderson film than a blockbuster anymore. The reason is story and characters. Solid point. 100%. 100%. You can get really hyped for things that are lower budget, well written, good characters. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Zan Zoltan saw I saw the other day Free Guy. It had its moments. It's bad cultural bologna sausage moments, but at least it was a good movie after all. Well, there you go. Somebody whack that bot, please. Thanks.
Oh.
And report it immediately. Thanks. That's why I have it set for 10 seconds, guys.
Slow mode, yep.
Let's see. Memes just said hi to the bot.
Oh my god.
I love memes. There's a link. So Lonnie's got a link to it. Shellback if you want to see somebody playing it. But see, shellbacks is a Navy term. So Darren, like my father before me, I borrowed some money from one of the seven dwarfs. He's not happy. Ba-boom ching. Dad joke time.
You know what? I gotta bring this up. I gotta bring this up because we Dab had talked about this last night, and I was laughing so hard about this, about the fact that if we did Ghostbusters now, Bruce Lombardo would be Dan Aykroyd, I would be Ernie Hudson, Ort would be Bill Murray, and Culture would be Harold Ramis.
I would love that role. Would love that role. Commander Ed Straker Shadow says, Culture Casino, I said banning most postmodern and deconstruct would be helpful in college. Okay, thank you. I knew I'd heard it or seen it somewhere. Thank you, Commander Ed Straker Shadow. For those of you who are members, that stream is still up for you to see. For those of you who are not, I'm sorry. But that we were talking, it was pretty in-depth, free-flowing conversation. I love the member streams. They're a hoot and a half. Get together with all the members of the channel. It's a lot of fun. Whoever can make it, of course. Orville Nation for $5 says, oh my gosh, yes. New Caddyshack starring Culture. Well, thank you, PJ. I don't know. I'm not tall enough, I think. Let's be honest. Chevy Chase and a few others, they're a little taller than me. I'm a little less than my 5'8" used to be. My 5'8", as you get older, you get less tall. Just so you know. So
Culture,
yes,
I have to agree. In fact, I would nominate you for the Chevy Chase character. And I would volunteer myself as the Bill Murray character.
Oh, that would be amazing. Noonan.
Can I be the gopher?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yes. And the answer to this, Terry Rose, is I do. I love golfing. Love it. Love it.
He was golfing with Ryan and the others down in Vegas.
I have. Well, I was going to. It didn't end up happening, but I have a set of TaylorMades in the garage that are. I have a set of TaylorMades in the garage that are ready to go, along with my golf shoes, my gloves. I'm fully supplied. It's ready to go. Cool. I got cooler pockets in there for my beverages and stuff. Yeah, I love it. Golf is good.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Orwell Nation. Ted Knight wore a similar shirt in it. Yes. This is a Cleveland golf shirt, by the way. The brand Cleveland. They good clubs too. I got a really nice pitching wedge. Set of
Cleveland.
Yeah, I have a set of TaylorMades as well.
Like Cleveland Brown.
Man, everybody, yeah, you got to get some nice clubs. The boss has a nice set too, of clubs. That is. Jackie Mason just recently passed. He was old forever. That's right. God, Jackie Mason was so good, so good. Great man. Let's see.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, wow, we lost so many people this year. It's insane. I was like, this is 2016 all over again.
Gonna jump off now. Have a good Sunday. Thank you, Rugobet. It was great hanging with you. We're gonna wrap up giving our impressions of the Ghostbusters film because all of us has now seen it. We're gonna do it in a spoiler-free way. We're gonna start with Machini and go from there. So, Mach, your thoughts on Ghostbusters?
Yeah, let me switch my camera up here, just because I want to give you I want to give you guys the picture. So everybody what the picture I did. Anyway, listen, this is my first real experience with Ghostbusters. I've seen bits and pieces of the 1984 film. Never saw Ghostbusters 2, and I have seen enough of 2016 to know I will never watch that thing again for the rest of my life.
That's great.
I absolutely love this film. I think McKenna Grace, she is an absolute scene stealer.
Oh yeah.
Every single frame she was in was fantastic, especially the moments with her in podcast. It just cracked me up. There were so many great characters all around, and I will not spoil it, but the ending, it didn't leave me in tears, but I still thought it was absolutely beautiful, and just it felt like the perfect epilogue, the perfect just send off to everything that came before it. I love this film. I will happily watch this again.
That looks so good. Seriously, I love this.
And I'm probably gonna. I talked about this. I'm probably gonna do. I recorded the time lapse of this, so I may do like a time lapse / movie review this week.
You should break down the entire film, give everybody the time lapse plus your movie review. You know what? And with that, I need to move on to AFK to say. AFK, tell us your thoughts, because I know going in you were super excited and didn't want any spoilers, right?
Yeah, I try really hard on that. No, I was really excited to see it because, I did watch the tragedy that was 2016, but I thought it was hilariously bad, but not in like a good hilariously bad, like I have to laugh at my pain kind. So this one, the trailer, actually, I thought the very first trailer, the little teaser, did a really good job of setting the mood and not exactly, I don't know. It didn't have the fart jokes in the trailer. So, I mean, you can't really beat that. Just in itself, that's an improvement. But I'm not doing a good job of selling this. But let's just say that I went in and I loved it like Makini. Like I said earlier, if it wasn't attached to like the Ghostbusters franchise name, if there was just like, the history of these people who, went and fought paranormal, blah, 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 of course it'd sound familiar or whatever. But like the story itself and all of the characters, I think are really awesome in this movie. The kid actors really impressed me. I agree with Makini, that one girl, she just like, she really won. I'm horrible. I have the worst dad puns ever. But I laughed so hard at every single terrible pun in this movie, and I did not feel bad about it.
No,
they were good.
So I think that it did a good job. Like, I don't laugh that much at movies. And like usually they try too hard and I just can't. But it was great, Good feel good movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree 1,000%. And Shellbach, finally, we'll wrap up with you, my friend.
I thought it was a really good homage, to the first two originals. Phoebe, yeah, she had the best, dad jokes, nerd jokes, whatever you want to say. And the only reason, I didn't give it like a perfect scores because I wanted to see more of certain people, but I am still definitely not disappointed with it. I even got verklempt a couple of times.
Ooh, sweaty eyeballs.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. Again, I will reiterate. I gave it a B. I think I gave it a B minus. I think originally. I'll be seeing it again here shortly, just to confirm my thoughts. Maybe find some other elements in it that I didn't see around the first time. See if I excuse some things that I shouldn't have the first time. We'll see. But I enjoyed the film. I thought it was a good film. Again, we are getting great films, but this was a good film, and it is worth seeing. It's worth your time. Sometimes it's worth seeing more than once if it's a good film, right? On that, you guys are absolutely the best. I can't say enough. I can't say enough how much we appreciate all of you. The spirit of Thanksgiving should live every single day in your hearts. You should always be thankful every day and let those around you know that you're thankful for them. Believe me, the world would be a much better place. Let's do our outros so that people can get to where they need to go next. I know Machiny Stream is starting up here and not pretty soon, I think. So Mach, you want to go first and tell everybody where you're going, what you're doing?
All right, 12:30 is Machiny Live on my channel with the very, very special guest of Maria of Tea and Telly. Unfortunately, originally it was supposed to be Maria and Arwen for the same time, but Arwen's streaming last night, so she couldn't make it. So we'll have to reschedule for that one. But today is Maria and Team Telly, and she is excited to be a part of this stream as much as I am. I'm so looking forward to this. This is going to be the great capper off to my weekend. Check that out. I'm going to have a bunch of videos. I think I'm going to have a bunch of videos coming out on hopefully this week. I got to get to work on that and other stuff as well. So find me on YouTube, Twitter, wherever. I'm working towards 1,000. I've noticed I've gotten a little bit of a bump up recently, so I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for the incredible support, and we're still working our way towards 1,000 by before Christmas. So thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate that.
Oh, absolutely. And I think everybody in the channel, you guys are always great at saying hi and bye to each other. Crease, it was great to have you. I know you were lurking in the background. A lot of you do that, and that's perfectly fine. Up next is our good friend Shellback, who's been been in hit and miss lately because he's a working man now. Shellback, you want to talk about anything coming up in your universe? You are muted. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, my signal is a little bit janky. Yeah, like you said, and life has gotten in the way. Yes, I have just recently re-entered the workforce, and I was doing my anime academia on Saturdays, but that might have to change now because when you work from 7 p.m. to 5:30 a.m., you kind of have to sleep sometime, during the day. And so, since I'm like a Wednesday through Saturday guy, my free days are going to be, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I might have to, restructure or whatever the word is a little bit to, trying to put out content, those first 3 days of the week.
Right. Well, I appreciate all your efforts, and I'm glad things are starting to move in the right direction for you. And let us know when you're doing more and more stuff so we can be there, my man. And finally, the amazing AFK Bard.
Oh boy, I should just show up so you can call me that every time.
Well, that's my job.
Thanks for having me. I'm always happy to hang when I can. And again, I am really thankful for everybody here and the people who show up every week. You're all super awesome. And, Culture is a super awesome guy and lucky to have you. So
I'm lucky to have all of them. I don't know about the other part, but thank you.
Hey, you know, it's like a symbiotic relationship here. You know, you guys give and take. So
there you go.
But I don't have anything smart to say, so I was happy to hang out today, and everybody should go see the Ghostbusters Afterlife. I think it's really worth it. If you have a curmudgeon-y parent who might complain about loud noises, maybe suggest bringing earplugs or your little earbud thingies, because I mean, even me, and I'm young, I don't want to be that old person, but I would complain that it was really, really loud, unnecessarily so sometimes. But ain't nothing that's gonna get in the way of enjoying that movie.
So I assume you don't want. I assume the banshee whistle is off the table for Christmas, right?
You know what? As long as I'm giving that to my niece and she's taking it home, I'm completely okay with it.
Okay.
All right, and if you find any of those AMC popcorn buckets from the Ghostbusters themed popcorn buckets, hang on to them. They are treasure. And anyway, beyond all that, guys, I just want to say thanks once again. I appreciate you all. You have no idea. And I really appreciate the wrenches, the folks, like I say, that lurk in the back, and like waiting for Neurotic and everything else. But most all of you already know all of this. And so I'm just going to end the stream the same way I always do. And I'll tell you to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time.
Wash your shell.
Bye.
All right, Toxic Man Flu says, Gary has an awesome story of hope and success. I never would have made it through the last 2 years without Gary, Comics Division, Culture Casino, and many others in the Fellowship. Thank you all. Right on.
I like how they're using the word fellowship. I tell people to stop using the word community.
The Fellowship.
Stop. That commie language.
Yeah.
The Fellowship of the Ring.
Yes.